Harambee Stars win. Kenya win. Twende kazi. Team Kenya all the way.
Whether you are in Thika, Juja, Nairobi, Kisumu, or Homa Bay, you can kickstart your health science and related studies today by joining Tricent School of Medical Health Science and Technology. Intake is in progress.
The stage is set, the teams are ready, and your voice could be the difference. Come wave your flag, sing your song, and back your favorite team as they battle for glory in the Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship 2024, right here on home soil.
Good evening and welcome to Easy Friday. We are here to ease you into the weekend with stories making headlines both here at home and across the globe.
All right, and speaking of amnesty from Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen for bandits in Kerio Valley to surrender arms. To politics, where Raila Odinga comes to the defense of Secretary General of ODM, that's Edwin Sifuna. And also need to let you know that in about an hour's time, we are bringing you a match live. That's the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations third place playoff at 10 o'clock sharp. South Africa squares it against Ghana. You need not miss that match. We also need to let you know that the CAF's African Nations Cup kicks off next weekend. That's August the 2nd. And players in Group A start trickling in the country next week. Kenya is amongst other groups. I mean, it's in Group A with amongst other giants, Angola. The other teams in Group A include Zambia, the DRC, Morocco. Will Kenya be able to get out of that group and lift that cup? Only time will tell. First things first, so let's bring you a night review of Easy Friday tonight. These are the highlights.
I'd like to extend an olive branch to all those suspects that are being pursued to take the shortest time possible to present themselves before police officers.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen announces a one-month amnesty to bandits hiding in Kerio Valley. Deputy President Professor Kindiki defends broad-based government, saying it will ensure development countrywide.
Wako ndani ya chama si lazima wawe ni maoni moja juu ya mambo, lakini mpaka to protect the right of people to speak. Kama Sifuna ameongea, ako na haki ya kuongea. Kama wewe unatofautiana na yeye kwa maoni, sema yako.
And hate-free expression, says ODM leader Raila Odinga, bailing out Secretary General Edwin Sifuna from attacks for criticizing the broad-based government.
Welcome to Easy Friday on this Friday, the 25th of July, 2025. My name is John Kago.
My name is Karen Kibbet, and our sign language interpreter this evening is Byron Abuli.
Let's get to it. Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kippchumba Murkomen has extended a 1-month olive branch to banditry suspects hiding in Kerio Valley caves and other hideouts to surrender to the police and face justice or risk dire consequences. Those in possession of illegal firearms and ammunition have also been told to return them with a promise to sponsor their college education. Giverson Minor reports.
Tambach, Elgeyo Marakwet County on Friday hosted the 20th Jukwaa la Usalama County Security Tour in Tambach Teachers College. Accompanied by Governor Wesley Rotich, area lawmakers, and Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kippchumba Murkomen issued an ultimatum to the banditry suspects and their financiers to surrender to authorities.
I'd like to extend an olive branch to all those suspects that are being pursued to take the shortest time possible to present themselves before police officers. That is the safest way they can be processed through a court of law. But as they continue engaging police officers, that kind of engagement may lead to loss of life.
Those in possession of illegal firearms, the majority being the school-going youth, will benefit from free college education sponsored by the government if they return them.
I want to ask parents who know their children are involved in banditry to do everything possible now when there is that olive branch. Some of these young people are 16, 17, 18, 19, they are 21, 22. They are in an age where they can still get technical skills that they can afford to take care of their lives. We'll give you scholarships.
Kerio Valley is among banditry-prone areas in the county that also grapples with insecurity along the borders of Baringo and West Pokot counties.
This problem is very persistent in one ward in Marakwet West, that is Aror ward, and then in the lower part of Sambrir ward in Marakwet East, Endo ward, parts of Embobut ward, and parts of Kabiego ward. Cumulatively, these are the areas that are really very prone. It's the corner, the triangle between Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot, and Baringo County, particularly Tiati constituency, is where we have the biggest challenge.
The CS also revealed that prominent people, including politicians and civil servants in the county, are involved in the buying and supplying bandits with weapons.
Those who are supplying ammunition, selling them to our young people to cause havoc, I am giving you opportunity to take the shortest time now to make sure that you run away.
The ongoing security operation has seen the recovery of about 1,000 firearms against the targeted 5,000 illegal guns. Murkomen also inspected the ongoing construction of the Camarine Stadium in Iten.
It will not be business as usual for the banditry suspects and their financiers in Kerio Valley, Elgeyo Marakwet County, as Interior CS Kippchumba Murkomen warns of tough consequences. Giverson Minor, is a Friday in Iten, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Thank you, Giverson, for that report. Moving on, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has defended the broad-based government, saying the cooperation between President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga is aimed at ensuring development in every part of the country without discrimination.
While speaking during an economic empowerment forum for women, youth, and people living with disability in Midika grounds, Muhoroni constituency, Kisumu County, Kindiki disclosed that since the formation of the broad-based government, several development projects have been realized in the region.
Hapo awali kuna watu hapo wamekuwa wakihubiri siasa potovu ya kwamba ati watu wanapata maendeleo kulingana na vile walipiga kura. Lakini hiyo ni kinyume na katiba ya Kenya. Katiba inasema ya kwamba tunafanya uchaguzi. Na tukifanya uchaguzi, wananchi wako na haki ya kuchagua ule wanataka. Kwa sababu nchi yetu ni ya demokrasia. Lakini mwenye anachaguliwa lazima awe rais wa kila mtu.
Na sisi tunataka kuona Kenya inasonga mbele yote pamoja. Wale watu ambao wanaeneza siasa ya uchuki, siasa ya hasira, siasa ya ukabila hawana nafasi katika Kenya hii.
Hakuna siku hata moja tumetoka katika hiyo agreement, na hakuna siku hata moja baba ametuambia tutoke hapo. Kwa hivyo kama wewe unakuja kuzungumza na baba amesema tuko pamoja na President William Ruto na wewe unasema kinyume, basi wewe huzungumzi kwa niaba ya chama cha ODM.
All right, then now ODM party leader Raila Odinga has come out in strong defense of Secretary General Edwin Sifuna against backlash from within the party over his criticism of the government's approach to national issues.
Now, Odinga, speaking in Kakamega, reaffirmed ODM's commitment to freedom of expression and internal democracy.
A storm has been brewing at the Orange Democratic Movement ODM over Secretary General Senator Edwin Sifuna's criticism of the broad-based political arrangement deemed by some party leaders as a rebellion and calling for his ouster.
Huyu baba Raila Amolo Odinga, hakuna mwanasiasa Kenya hii ambaye anatusiwa, kukejeliwa, kukosolewa zaidi yake. Na amenifunza kwamba Sifuna, unapokosolewa inamaanisha wewe ni kiongozi. Kwa hivyo wote ambao wamenikosoa hapa, nataka niseme sijasikia ubaya.
Aliniita kando, tukaenda kwa ofisi, akaniambia naenda kwa TV na anaenda kuongea mambo haya. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanasema wanalaumu Sifuna, hata mlaumu Osot. Na mkisema aende, hata mimi nitaenda.
But on Friday, party leader Raila Odinga stepped in to calm the storm.
ODM is a democratic party, and therefore ODM must tolerate divergent views within our party. But when we have talked and there's a consensus, then that must be the party's stand.
Odinga also revealed that the party will soon hold a closed-door meeting to deliberate on emerging issues and chart a way forward.
Yale maneno yote ambayo Sifuna amesema, wengine wameongea, na hiyo yote sisi tutaongea keti chini kama chama na mtasikia nini matamshi yetu. Ile uamuzi wa chama kamili.
Maria Ambo reporting for Easy Friday.
Now, the government of Kenya will not pay an international arbitration claim of more than 250 billion shillings to KU Railways Holdings after a London court threw out the case.
Well, in a statement to newsrooms, the Office of the Attorney General announced the landmark legal victory for Kenya, saying it reaffirms the government's resolve to uphold lawful governance, protect public resources, and maintain international credibility.
The claim exceeding 258 billion shillings was brought against the Kenyan government by KU Railways Holdings Limited and RVR Investments before the London Court of International Arbitration. In the arbitration proceedings, which began in 2020, KU Railways Holdings Limited and Rift Valley Railways Investments Limited accused the governments of Kenya and Uganda of breaching provisions of Interface Agreement and the Railways Concession Agreement. These agreements related to the operation, construction and management of the now defunct Rift Valley Railways line, a joint freight and passenger transport project between the two nations. In the decisive ruling, the London court entirely dismissed the $2 billion claim, awarding costs in favor of the Republic of Kenya. According to the Office of the Attorney General, this outcome not only upholds the integrity of Kenya's legal and commercial commitments, but also protects the Kenyan taxpayer from what would have been a staggering financial liability. Gishuke Washira, Easy Friday.
All right, now the Council of Governors has faulted the National Treasury for claiming that the government cannot afford to sustain free education in public primary and secondary schools.
COG Chief Executive Officer Mary Mwiti says education is the only equalizer that guarantees hope and a future for the vulnerable communities in the country.
Well, she further decried decried what she termed inadequate funding for the devolved functions in the country. She made those remarks at the COG headquarters here in the capital.
And we need to have now a candid conversation, looking at what the Minister for Finance told us yesterday, that there is no capitation for the children. So the question begs, what is bereft of the poor children in this country? If not anything else, then we think, and from where I sit, that education must be availed freely to all the citizens of this country, because for me, from where I stand, it is the only equalizer.
A suspect accused of conspiring with others to defraud Guarantee Trust Bank of over 5 million shillings will know his bail terms fate on 29th of July.
Well, Edmond Kiprono, who pleaded not guilty, urged the court to grant him bail, citing his readiness to abide by the conditions set by the court.
However, the prosecution opposed the request, arguing he had deliberately been missing court sessions. Details in the Scales of Justice segment.
Appearing before a magistrate's court in Milimani on Friday, Edmond Kiprono denied defrauding Guarantee Trust Bank of over 5 million shillings and pleaded for bail again, arguing that he had been granted police bail earlier and is not a flight risk. The prosecution, however, opposed the application, saying Kiprono skipped court knowingly. The court will rule on the bail application on July 29th, with a warrant of arrest of his co-accused being extended to September 4th, 2025. Meanwhile, a businessman, Anthony Njuguna Chege, was also charged with defrauding a business lady, Elizabeth Warui, in a failed business partnership. Trial Magistrate Caroline Mogo released him on a 2 million shillings bond, with pre-trial direction set for August 11th, 2025.
We'll have the matter mentioned on the 11th of August for pre-trial directions. In the meantime, the accused person is granted a bond of 2 million with a similar surety of the same amount, or a cash bill of 800,000 with 2 contact persons.
Finally, a man was charged with conspiring to steal 1.6 million shillings from Cooperative Bank. Leonard Kioko Mutiani pleaded not guilty and was granted a 1 million shillings bond.
So a plea of not guilty has been entered on all the 15 counts. We'll have the matter mentioned on the 12th of August for pre-trial directions. In the meantime, the accused is granted a bond of 1 million with a similar surety of the same amount, or a cash bill of 500,000 with 2 contact persons.
Letua Debra for Easy Friday.
And Deborah's report leads us to our first short break right here on Easy Friday. Kago, we will be back, right?
Absolutely, and we still have Savage Netizens, business and sports as well. Remember, a big match coming up at 10 o'clock. That's the third place playoff. That's the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations, South Africa playing Ghana tonight. That's at 10 o'clock, and we bring that match to you live. So you need not go too far away. We'll be back in a moment.
Mimi ni Salim Mvurya, waziri wa masuala ya vijana, uchumi bunifu na michezo. CHAN imewasili Kenya. Na waomba Wakenya wote tuweze kujitokeza kwa wingi, tuweze kushabikia timu yetu ya Harambee Stars. Tiketi tunaweza kulipa shilingi 200, 500 na 1000. Na CHAN iko KBC Channel 1 na KBC Radio Taifa. Tukutane Kasarani. Kenya ni nchi yetu, Harambee Stars ni timu yetu, na sisi ni wazalendo wa Kenya.
Wa Mungu juu ya maisha yako lazima ukuje kufikiana. Mpango wa Mungu juu ya jamii yako, mpango wa Mungu juu ya kazi ya mikono yako lazima ikakuje kutimia, hata kama unapitia vita za aina gani, hata kama ni vita za kiroho, vita za kimaisha, lazima mpango wa Mungu juu ya maisha yako ukuje kufikiana.
Welcome back. For those joining us right now, this is Easy Friday. Our sign language interpreter is Byron Abuli.
All right, let's carry on with the news that's shaping up. We move to the counties, or rather a roundup of news from the counties. Police in Kakamega County have urged residents to collaborate with them in nabbing criminals behind several murders in the town and its environs.
The call comes after a Juakali artisan was murdered and his body dumped at the gate of Mbwambwa High School on Thursday night. This and other stories in our county news roundup.
The murder of a middle-aged man in Lurambi, Kakamega County has caused tension among locals who have called on law enforcement to intensify patrols in the area. The victim, identified as Walter Senelwa, was brutally murdered while on his way home from work. Kakamega Central OCPD Vincent Cherotich has, however, called on residents to cooperate with security agencies in identifying criminals.
Hakika nina uchungu sana. Huu mtaa, watu wanakufa, masoja wanakufa, watu wanauawa. Sisi hatujui tuko wapi. Nimeachiwa watoto kwa njia yenye mimi sijui. Ni huzuni sana. Watoto wangu ni wadogo na sijui nitaanzia wapi.
Mahali imefika, tusinyamasiane, tusaidiane sasa. Nafikiri mnaona uchungu kiasi gani kwa huyo mama ambaye mwenye anatafuta hayuko. Na anakuja kuwawa kwa barabara tu. Yeye ametafuta sake, mtu amemngojea hapa. Mimi yangu ni machache. Kumbuka kwamba wale ambao wanahusika ni watu ambao wako na, si kweli? Saa hii maajabu anaweza kuwa hako na sisi hapa.
In Kitui County, Kitui South Member of Parliament Dr. Rachel Nyamai is calling for stern action against people who have occupied the Kitui South Game Reserve. This follows the killing of 2 people allegedly by herders in the reserve.
Hao watu wakati ule wamerudisha ngamia hapo, saa hii ndio tumeona watu wameanza kukufa tena. Na watu wale wanaua watu huko Enziu hawatoki mbali. Waziri Murkomen, watu wale wameua watu huko Kitui East. Msiwatafute mahali ingine, wanatoka hapa kwangu, Kitui South Game Reserve. Hawa maelfu wa watu ambao wako hapa leo wako na kilio kwa sababu tuko na wafugaji wa ngamia ambao wako ndani ya msitu wa Kitui South na wako na buduki ambazo sio za halali. Solidarity forever.
Elsewhere, the university's academic staff union has threatened to go on strike in September following a proposal by Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, John Mbadi, to restructure public universities to cut unnecessary administrative costs.
The government owes university community close to 21 billion. That I want to say, universities are not going to open in September before the Cabinet Secretary Treasury and Cabinet Secretary Minister of Education releases help and scholarship for last academic year.
Still on education matters, university graduates have been challenged to rethink the traditional employment channels and embrace digital innovation to address unemployment. Speaking during Africa Nazarene University's 28th graduation ceremony, the Kenya Airways Managing Director Alan Kilavuka urged the youth to refrain from over-reliance on white-collar jobs.
The world is waiting for your courage. It's waiting for your creativity. It's waiting for your compassion. Take off, soar, and don't forget to lift others as you rise.
Elsewhere, Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has warned the government against diverting resources meant for education to unnecessary expenditures. Nyoro made the remarks during a Young Leaders Conference held at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa.
The work of education is to add value to people, to the labor force, economically speaking. While the healthcare services labor force, education adds value to the labor force, who are the people. And the economy of Kenya can only grow when education is accessible, it is quality education, and every person has an opportunity to access it.
Martini Maslin for Easy Friday.
All right, then it's time to check what the netizens behind their keyboards have been saying on the socials of the savage netizens. You want to take it away?
Yes. Now, a prophecy that the world is coming to an end, according to Prophet David Owuor, has left netizens scrambling for their keyboards to share their reactions to this message.
All these savage netizens have surely curated hilarious content that has been great for conversation on social media.
This week, it seems the netizens were informed by some prophet that the world will be ending. So let's find out how they reacted to this information. Surely, netizens have been waiting to see how the events will unfold on the much-awaited 2nd of August. For according to self-proclaimed Prophet Owuor, the end nigh.
Hii dunia tunaishi saa hizi tu. Owuor amesema inaisha tarehe 2. Wewe Owuor hapo.
In the characteristic fashion, the keyboard warriors have started creating all types of content on the matter. But Minion's only regret is that nikikumbuka na kula chama Oktoba na dunia inaisha August, natokwa na wazimu.
Oh my God!
Ariana lamented, na birthday yangu ni October 13. But what is Juanita's take?
Mimi nimeacha pombe kuanzia saa hii. Nimeacha pombe kuanzia saa hii, ukweli hivi.
Other netizens noting any 1st August disappointments won't bother them that much.
Mungu, nilikufanyia nini Mungu? Kwa nini unanipenda hivi Mungu wangu? Nilikupatia nini Mungu wangu ndio unipende hivi?
While other cyber surfers can't wait for the end of the world already.
Hiyo dunia I hope iishi hiyo 2nd August. Maana mimi nimechoka, nishachoka. We Owuor, I hope you are telling the truth.
But to his defense, the good prophet was not committal on which exact year the world would end.
Nabii, tunasikia kwamba ulisema dunia inaweza isha 2nd of August.
Nani? Mimi nani?
So how about we enjoy this banger as we wait for 2nd of August? Well, that's it for us. Catch you next week on Savage Netizens. For Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Thank you, Tess, for always making our Friday memorable. Moving on, illegal water abstraction, unregulated irrigation, deforestation, and encroachment of water catchment areas have been cited as major contributory factors of rivers drying up.
Well, this revelation was made during the Journey of Water campaign taking place in Kenya and Tanzania, where stakeholders in the water sector warned that if the trend continues, the two countries could be deprived of a very important ecosystem.
Timothy Kipnusu now reports.
The 3rd day of the Journey of Water campaign in Oltilal, Kajiado South, Kajiado County. It is during the campaign that those engaging in illegal activities along the water streams bordering Kenya and Tanzania were cautioned. Tanzania's Rombo District Commissioner Raymond Mwangala read the riot act to individuals engaging in illegal logging, unregulated irrigation and charcoal burning.
Watu wowote wanaokata miti au tunawakamata na kushughulika nao, lakini watu wowote wanaochoma misitu hao tunapambana nao, kwa sababu lengo la msingi ni kutunza vyanzo. Kwa kutunza mazingira, yayo mazingira yakitunzwa yatatunza vyanzo vya.
A number of civil society organizations led by the Worldwide Fund has teamed up with the government to preserve water sources.
The brief work we've done is we've seen the challenges that are there, and by and large you'll find that water is affected by whether the quality or the quantity. So from a quantity side of things, it's because there is over abstraction.
Tukitunza misitu, tunatunza pia mito na kuchunga pia chemchemi za maji.
Residents narrated the challenges they face in search of water for their livestock and domestic use.
Kuna shida ya maji kabisa. Naenda kuchimba, maji ni chafu. Naenda sasa kuchimba na jembe chote na iko ng'ombe unaweka hapa kwa hiji yake.
Tumetoka mbali, tumetoka huku Ngaroni. Tunakuja hapa mtoni, tunachota maji, tunaleta kikombe, tunachimba shimo, tunachota maji chafu, tunapeleka huko pori. Hata ng'ombe hawapati maji. Ni shida.
Sasa mito zikikauka kutakuwa na adhari kama kiangazi itakuwa kwa muda, wamama watakuwa na wanaenda kilomita mingi kuchota maji na pia mifugo zetu zitaathirika.
Meanwhile, a clarion call was made to the government to improve the road infrastructure, particularly along the forest, to ease mobility during surveillance of the ecosystem.
Imebidi hata wenye mashamba wale imeshikana na mto. Wamejaribu hata kupeana nafasi ya watu kupita, lakini hata haijatengenezwa. Bado shida ni hile.
Tumeachilia mito yetu, tumeachilia mazingira yetu. Kwa hivyo tunafaa tujukumike.
The drought currently witnessed in this particular area is evident, water scarcity being the order of the day as residents are forced to walk for a long distance in search for this scarce resource. Timothy Kipnosu reporting from Kajiado South, Kajiado County for Easy Friday.
Siku ya leo ni siku ya shukrani, ni siku ya tabasamu, na ndivyo tuko hapa kusema ni asanti. Kupitia udaktari na daktari hapa jumuiya, tumeona mkono wa Mungu.
Mimi ile niko nayo tu ni furaha. Juu nikifika nyumbani watashangaa leo ni yule mtoto mwenye alikuwa ama ni mwingine. Juu mtoto amebadilika, ako sawa katika neema ya Bwana, na mbarikiwa.
Asante sana kunisaidia mpaka nikafika mahali kama hapa.
Wakenya wote nawashukuru. Sasa mimi naendelea vizuri.
Welcome back. Let's now take a look at the day's business. Now, ICT Authority CEO Stanley Kamanguya has officially resumed office following a court order issued on Wednesday reinstating him. Kamanguya called on leaders to refrain from politicizing his reappointment, stating that his contract was duly renewed by the ICTA Authority Board. He said his working relationship with the information, communication and the digital economy officials remains strong, adding that he is a law-abiding citizen. Kamanguya had been sent on terminal leave by the ICT Authority Board on 1st of this month, a decision that the court overturned.
We trust that in the fullness of time he shall be given the support that will enable him to fully discharge his mandate as the CEO of the authority. The other issues pertaining to his contract are sub judice, and we trust that in the fullness of time the court shall render its decision.
My current contract ends on the 7th of August, and indeed on the 10th of March this year, the Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communication and Digital Economy, having been satisfied by the process of contract renewal of a CEO, issued me with a contract renewal letter effective of 8th. I wish to urge all our leaders to let the process take its due course and kindly stop politicizing the issue of my appointment. I am a public officer dedicated to serve the country, dedicated to empowering our young generation and creating opportunities for them across the country and beyond.
Now, the world is slowly coming to terms with the ruling of the International Court of Justice that is expected to upend how countries deal with the climate change in the years ahead. On Wednesday, International Court of Justice ruled that countries should reduce their emissions below 1.5 degrees of warming, failure to which they can be sued for monetary compensation to developing countries or required to rebuild infrastructure and restore ecosystems damaged by climate change. Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance chairperson of Political and Technical Affairs, Augustine, says the landmark ruling gives more impetus to climate justice, polluter pay principle, and more efforts to mitigate climate change.
On Wednesday afternoon at The Hague, Netherlands, the International Court of Justice delivered a landmark ruling that is likely to reverberate across the climate change spectrums for years to come. Led by the president of ICJ, Yuji Iwasawa, the ruling affirmed that a clean, healthy and sustainable environment is a human right, stating that climate must be protected for present and future generations. The decision sent shockwaves around the world, with players in climate change space terming the ruling as a major win for countries in the global south that have been at the mercy of major climate-induced calamities like drought, hurricanes, floods, among others.
Global south is not at the negotiation table begging. We are only fighting for our rights. It is our right to have a healthy environment. It is our right to develop. It is our right to see that the future generations are not burdened by the impacts of what has been caused before they arrive on Mother Earth.
The Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance Chair of Political and Technical Affairs, Augustine Jamshi, says the ruling gives developing countries more authority to hold to account the big polluters, especially in the global north. But law experts have been quick to say that though the ruling by the Hague-based court is non-binding, it will have far-reaching consequences coming with major legal weight and moral authority. The Iwasawa-led court made it clear that countries must set their goals under the Paris Agreement, which aligns with the 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature target, affirming that failing to protect the planet from the impacts of climate change may be a violation of international law.
Warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius is not considered safe for most nations, communities, ecosystems, and sectors, and poses significant risks to natural and human systems.
The United Nations Top Court further opined that countries have a duty to protect migrants whose livelihoods would be endangered by climate change in their home countries.
Using the transitional justice approach, which takes care of the past injustices, past and present injustices with the promise of never repeating them, we have been pushing this approach over the last 5 years.
Climate change experts and advisors are now scrutinizing the ruling by ICJ to see how it will shape the climate dialogue going forward.
The ruling by the International Court of Justice at The Hague, the Netherlands, set the ball rolling for developing countries to press charges against developed countries for their climate scenes, both historical, present, and in the future. For Channel One Business, I'm O'Brien.
Thank you, O'Brien, for that detailed report. Now, finally, the government is stepping up electricity connection to remote areas to empower communities, improve agricultural productivity, enhance provision of social services, and increase opportunities for small businesses. Energy Principal Secretary Charles Washira says the Last Mile Connectivity Project seeks to bridge the urban-rural divide by promoting inclusive growth and reducing poverty. The government is connecting over 10,000 households in Nyandarua County over the next 5 months to the national grid under the ongoing Last Mile Connectivity Project.
can tell you with a robust program that we do have as a Ministry of Energy, Nyandarua County, hata hizo shule ambazo hazina stima, kwa sababu ninajua ziko, hata hizo tutaweka stima through REREC.
Na juzi tumesaini makaratasi ya fedha na huenda tulipe hawa contractors wiki ijayo ndio waweze kuendeleza hiyo mradi sawa sawa.
We have AFD EU with a contractor called Element and Power China, and then we have the GOK funding which is being done by REREC. Na mmeona contractor ndio huyo ametoka na anaanza kazi mara moja. Tukitoka hapa tunaelekea Oljororok, pia pale tuko na miradi zingine. Tukitoka hapo tunaelekea kule Kinangop, pia vile kuna miradi zingine za stima that quantifies the amount of money that I have mentioned.
And it is time for me to walk you through the day's events as far as sports is concerned. I'm Bernardo Kumu. And let's begin with tennis, where the mixed doubles pair of Angelo Kutoi and Kale Shah delivered an impressive performance at the ongoing Federation of International University Sports World University Games in Rhein-Ruhr, Germany, to bag a silver medal. Now representing Auburn University and Denison University respectively, Kutoi and Shah battled their way into the finals, where they faced a strong Japanese duo of Nasuki Yoshimoto and J. Dylan Friend, who beat them 6-3, 6-3. To reach the finals, so Kutoi and Shah had to dig deep in the semis, where they overcame Portugal's Maria Garcia and Pedro Araujo in a thrilling match that ended 7-6, 6-3. On the other hand, Yoshimoto and Friend secured their spot in the final with a win over Czech Republic's Karolina Kubanova and Jan Jema. Team Kenya now boasts of 3 medals in the FISU Games. That's 1 gold and 2 silver medals. Also, it's 7 days remaining before the kickoff of the much anticipated 2024 African Nations Championship CHAN, with the Confederation of Africa Football CAF announcing the sale of match tickets for the continental showpiece, set to kick off from the 2nd to 30th of August next week in Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. Teams are expected to start arriving in the country next week for the Group A encounters in Nairobi, with Kenya's Group A opponents Morocco unveiling a star-studded 28-man squad ahead of the grueling fixtures. After missing the 2022 edition, the Atlas Lions returned to the African Nations Championship CHAN, aiming to reclaim the crown they last won in 2020. Head coach Tariq Sektui believes that the squad is primed and determined to challenge for a 3rd continental title from a tough group. The team draws heavily from local powerhouses like RS Berkane, Raja Casablanca, Wydad Casablanca and AS FAR, giving Morocco a deep pool of seasoned professionals. Notably, 6 players from newly crowned champions Berkane make the list, including standouts like Abdelhak Assal, Ayub Khairi and Reda Haji. Morocco will open their Group A campaign against Angola on Sunday, 3rd of August, before facing Kenya and Zambia on the 10th and 14th of August, respectively. Kenya's head coach Benny McCarthy, meanwhile, has also acknowledged the fierce competition expected in this group, insisting they will go for nothing short of glory. And of course, the match tickets that are on sale as far as CAF's announcement is the 200 shillings tickets and the 500 shillings tickets. Elsewhere, the Kenya women's volleyball team technical bench has trimmed down the Malkia Strikers provisional squad to 20 players as they prepare for the FIVB Women's Volleyball World Championship, which will be held in Thailand from the 22nd of August to 7th of September this year. Those who were retained include, among others, setters Frida Boke and Immaculate Nekesa, opposite hitters Mercy Minza, Marlene Terry and Pamela Dhiambo, middle blockers Belinda Barasa, Lorraine Chebet and Gladys Ekaru. Meldine Sande will captain the team, boosted by her fellow outside hitters Veronica Dhiambo and Juliana Namutira, while Celestine Nafula, Charlene Mayua and Dolphine Misoki have been retained as liberos. However, Miriam Musa, Valentine Jemutai, Deborah Sang and Lydia Iswan did not make the cut, nor did Valerie Chepkoech, Vivian Vugusa, Penina Wafula and the injured Sharon Sandui, who were in the initial squad of 29 players undergoing training at the Nyayo National Stadium. The final squad of 14 players will be named before the team's departure to Vietnam for an international friendly in August. In the meantime, the Kenya Volleyball Federation will hold their annual general meeting tomorrow, Saturday, at Nyayo National Stadium. Elsewhere, the Kenya Hockey Union elective annual general meeting will take place tomorrow in Nairobi. The positions that will be contested include the presidency, the male and female deputy presidents' positions, secretary general, treasurer, match secretary, and their deputies' positions in public relations office. Elsewhere, Tusk FC has officially confirmed the return of star striker Eric Kapaito. The two-time Golden Boot winner rejoins the Brewers after 1 year spell in Tanzania.
Kapaito, who netted 12 goals in the 2023-2024 season, is expected to add firepower to the Tusker attack as they aim to reclaim the Premier League crown.
Kukuja huku itanipush pia mimi kuachieve goals zangu. Sasa hii najipush hard ukiangalia training najaribu kurudi na vitu ambaye nilikuwa nafanya yenye sikupata chance ya kufanya huko TZ, because ukiangalia ni vitu mbili tofauti. Hapa hivi I believe niko na hiyo chance ya kutrain, niko na watu naweza train nao pamoja pia, alafu hapa hivi niko free.
His signing marks the club's third major acquisition this transfer window, following the arrivals of midfielder Vincent Otieno from Nairobi City Stars and defender Eugene Ikutua from Bidco United. Elsewhere, 17-year-old Kenya footballer Tyrone Cheroge is eyeing a professional breakthrough in Spain. The former Nastic Sports Academy player hopes to link up once again with his teammate Aldrin Kibbet and secure a professional contract. Njoroge, who spent 2 years at the academy in Barcelona, is currently playing for FC Gabia Academy in Granada. And finally, FC Leopards are all set for their clash with Nzoia Sugar FC tomorrow at the Masinde Muliro Stadium in Bungoma.
And thank you, Dan Mwenda, for that report on soccer stories making headlines locally. Elsewhere, Ulinzi Sharks women's handball team will be chasing back-to-back cup wins in the Kenya Handball Federation Super Cup scheduled this weekend. Following their maiden title last year, the cup is a precursor of the league featuring the top 6 men's teams and the top 4 women's sides. Now, the Sharks are still in a celebratory mood after an outstanding season where they won the National League title, but they are not taking anything to chance as they start their title defense against Daystar at the Nyayo National Stadium tomorrow afternoon. NCPB, who replaced Firehawks in the Super Cup, will face Nairobi Water in what's expected to be a thriller between the two rivals. Their men's side, who are also the National League champions, will face Strathmore in their double quest. The Super Cup men's champions, Equity, however, are not willing to be dethroned that they as easily as they begin their title defense against Black Mamba, having won the 2025 Genocide Memorial Cup in Kigali, Rwanda. GSU, who finished third in the league, are also in the fray with the match against Strathmore on Sunday. And across the borders now, where the stage is set for a thrilling finale to the 2024 CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations of Football Tournament, as 9-time champions Nigeria face host nation Morocco on Saturday at the Stade Olympique in Rabat. Nigeria left it late to beat defending champions South Africa 2-1 to secure their place in Saturday's final, while Morocco overcame Ghana 4-2 on penalties after a grueling semi-final in Rabat, which ended 1-1 after extra time. Under head coach Justin Madugu, Nigeria have embraced a pragmatic, results-driven approach. After a cautious group stage, they hit their stride in the knockout rounds, demolishing Zambia 5-0 in the quarterfinals before edging out defending champion South Africa by 2-1 in a thrilling semi. On the other hand, coached by 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup winning manager Jorge Vilda, Morocco have thrilled their home fans with their fighting spirit. After topping Group A with 7 points, the Lionesses overcame Mali 3-1 in the quarterfinals before a dramatic penalty shootout victory over Ghana in the semi-finals. Following a 1-1 draw, meanwhile, South Africa, of course, will hope to redeem themselves against Ghana to make up for the disappointment of failing to progress to the final in the bronze match. That's a rematch of the 2016 playoff. Watch it unfold live on KBC Channel 1. That's happening. That's from 10 p.m. a couple of 14 minutes from now.
Gold winners Nigeria, they are seeking their 10th title.
Nigeria left it late to beat defending champion South Africa 2-1 to secure their place in Saturday's final.
Up against the very same opponent. She goes the same way. Moments later, she curled off the bar. And then, a lengthy chunk of injury time.
While Morocco overcame Ghana 4-2 on penalties after a grueling semi-final in Rabat, which saw them draw 1-1 after extra time.
Back in again, he has a great chance. Oh, it's a goal! No, yes it is! Ghana have scored.
Nigeria have embraced a pragmatic, results-driven approach, demolishing Zambia 5-0 in the quarterfinals before edging out defending champion South Africa 2-1 in a thrilling semi-final. On the other hand, Morocco have thrilled their home fans with flair and fighting spirit. After topping Group A with 7 points, the Lionesses overcame Mali 3-1 in the quarterfinals before a dramatic penalty shootout victory over Ghana in the semi-finals, following a 1-1 draw. Meanwhile, South Africa hope to redeem themselves against Ghana to make up for the disappointment of failing to progress to the final in the bronze match tonight. Watch it unfold live on KBC Channel 1 from 10 p.m. Sean Muya for Easy Friday.
The shootout. Does so successfully. Calmly as well.
And of course, that one was prepared by Naomi Chilchil and voiced by Sean Muya. And that's how I bring the cap to today's sports. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernardo Kumo. I wish you a great weekend ahead. Back to Karen Kibbet and, of course, one and only John Kago.
And the one and only Bernardo Kumu. Thank you very much for the sporting. Absolutely, and as Bernard mentioned right there, now should be what in about 12 minutes. That's CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations third place playoff kicks off. It's live right on KBC. South Africa takes on Ghana, and we're also excited. CHAN Iko KBC, the African Nation Championships. Yes. Iko Hapa KBC starting next week, and Kenya is playing, is in Group A amongst the giants like Morocco, Angola, DRC, and Zambia. So plenty of footballing action for you starting next week. Let's go for Team Kenya.
Thank you for staying with us. That's all we had for you this Friday. My name is Karen Kibbet.
And my name is John Kago.
Have yourself a peaceful night and a lovely weekend ahead. Our sign language interpreter this evening has been Byron Abuhi. Good night.
So long.
wa Mungu juu ya maisha yako lazima ukuje kufikiana. Mpango wa Mungu juu ya jamii yako, mpango wa Mungu juu ya kazi ya mikono yako lazima ikakuje kutimia, hata kama unapitia vita za aina gani, hata kama ni vita za kiroho, vita za